I turned my roommate orange because she wouldn't stop stealing my $60 moisturizer. Here's the thing about Jenna. She's the kind of roommate who will eat your leftovers, wear your clothes, and use your expensive toiletries, but if you ask her about it, she'll look you dead in the eye and say she has no idea what you're talking about. For months, I've been buying this specific high-end daily face cream. It's imported, it smells like heaven, and it costs a small fortune. I keep it on the top shelf of the medicine cabinet, and every week the jar would get lighter. I tried everything. I asked her nicely. I wrote my name on the bottom in Sharpie. I even hid it in my bedroom for a week, and she actually had the nerve to ask me, "Hey, did we run out of lotion in the bathroom?" We? There is no we. I bought it. The breaking point was last Tuesday. I opened a brand new jar, used a tiny dab, and went to work. When I came home, there was a finger scoop missing, a massive, distinct, index finger scoop right out of the middle. I confronted her, she rolled her eyes, flipped her hair, and said, "I have my own stuff, I don't need your cheap cream." Okay, if she wasn't using it then she wouldn't mind if the formula changed the next day. I went to the drugstore and bought the darkest, most aggressive rapid development self-tanning mousse they sold. I'm talking tropical mahogany level dark. I bought a fresh jar of my face cream, scooped all of the expensive product out into a Tupperware container to save for myself, and filled the fancy jar with the self-tanner. The texture was similar, creamy, white, but it had a chemical smell, so I mixed in a few drops of essential oil to mask it. I smoothed the top over so it looked brand new, placed it back on the top shelf, and waited. That night, Jenna was getting ready for a date. I heard the shower run, heard the hairdryer, and then silence. I stayed in my room, just reading. About 2 hours later, she left, she yelled, "Bye," and slammed the door. I walked into the bathroom. The jar was shifted, the lid was greasy, and there was a finger scoop missing. I went to bed smiling. The next morning, I was woken up by a scream. It wasn't a scared scream, it was a scream of pure, vanity-fueled horror. I walked into the kitchen, pouring myself some coffee, and there she was. Jenna looked streaky. Her face was a patchwork of deep, muddy orange, her neck was splotchy. And because she hadn't washed her hands after applying it, her palms were dark brown. She turned to me, eyes wide, looking like an Oompa Loompa who had a rough night. "What did you do to your face cream?" she shrieked. "It stained my skin. It won't come off." I took a slow sip of my coffee. "My face cream?" I asked, acting confused. "Jenna, you told me you don't use my cheap cream. You said you have your own stuff." She froze. She knew. If she admitted she used it, she admitted to stealing it again after lying about it for months. I just borrowed a little bit because I was dry," she stammered, scrubbing at her cheek with a wet paper towel. "It wasn't budging. That stuff takes days to fade." "Well," I said, leaning against the counter, "that jar was my special summer glow experiment. I guess it works." She called out of work. She missed her second date. And she spent the next 3 days exfoliating until her skin was raw. But you know what? I put my real face cream back on the shelf yesterday. It hasn't moved an inch.